So welcome everybody to this morning's session, or could be the afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Lovely to be here. I know a lot of faces, but those of you who don't know me, I'm Angela and one of the senior instructors with the Deyin Taijiquan Institute. And it's my pleasure to welcome everybody to this third lecture that's put on by the European Tai Chi Culture Centre and delivered by our own Master Fei Li Yip. I'm going to pass you over to Fei. The session itself is recorded. There won't be time for questions at the end, but you will be able to email into the centre if you wish. Okay, so over to you, Fei. Thank you very much and have a great session, everyone.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you very much. And thank you. Let me say thank you to all the technical support behind the scenes that design the posters and record the session and set up all the organize all the distribution. It's my pleasure to deliver this third session of public lecture on the 24-step Yang style. Okay, compact form, but not simple in the techniques and the history and the principles. So I have recorded this session in case there's any technical issues. I hope you will enjoy today's session. So I will ask Ms. Tong to help me to play the session now. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Beijing, China once more. Time flies. Now we're in the first week of March. Now spring is well and truly underway. I'm very pleased and honored to carry on with my public lecture at the European Tai Chi Culture Centre and share my experience of the short and compact form of Yang style Taijiquan, known as the 24-step Tai Chi. Today is my third session of the public lecture. In the past 2 sessions, we have covered the first 6 movements, namely opening stance, 起势, parting the wild horse's mane, 野马分鬃, white crane open its wings, 白鹤亮翅. Number 4, brush knee twist steps, 搂膝奥步, and strum the lute, 手挥琵琶. That's number 5. Number 6, 倒卷弓, repose the monkey. In today's session, I will cover the next 3 movements, namely grasped peacock's tail, left form, and grasped peacock's tail, the right form. They are basically the same movements, practiced and done like mirrored image, left and right, to help and develop the balance of our left side of the brain and right side of brain. And the third movement of today's session will be single whip, 单边. Before I demonstrate these 3 movements, I would like to introduce the concept of the techniques. 揽雀尾, grasp peacock's tail, even though it's one name, but it includes very important set of techniques. These 4 techniques are so profoundly important. There's a saying in Tai Chi classics called 八法五步, 8 methods and 5 steps. These 8 methods refers to the prominent, the most important combating techniques in the essence, the skills of Tai Chi as a martial application. These movements include 4 out of the 8. Grasp the peacock's tail will include 4 out of the 8 important techniques. Sometimes I prefer to describe these 4 techniques as the 4 energy gates. I hope remind us how this energy, the internal energy, transforms from one stage to another. How to neutralize an incoming force and how to react and return after neutralization, how to counter return a technique. And we call yielding back. Basically borrow our opponent's energy to use it to our advantage. Neutralize the techniques of, or the principles of Tai Chi. It characterized by these 4 energy gates. They namely Peng, most frequently translated as Peng, this forward resilient energy, outwards, expanding like a sponge, full of the energy, so expanding. And this energy will change, transform from fullness, from the substantial fullness, expansion, to a soft, insubstantial, neutralizing, we call Lü, so follow, respond to an incoming energy, and release from following and neutralize, divert the direction, neutralize and change, then create opportunity for our own advantage, then return to counter attack, counter the forthcoming energy with a return yielding energy back. We call Ji, press. And from this forwarding energy will evolve and transform. Again, circle back, soft, circle back, neutralize, and then transform once more to a forthcoming, expanding energy called An. See, this is almost perfectly an illustration or manifestation of the energy changes, phase stages from the soft yin change to strong and yang energy, substantial, full, and resilient outwards, and transform itself, return to the softness and neutralizing and diverting, changing, and to the second circle. So using the yin and yang, this inter-transformative character to the martial application. The underlying principle in Tai Chi is that we never initiate an attack. We never initiate to take advantage. However, when we receive an incoming force, the principle of Tai Chi is always to follow, to neutralize. The popular saying is using soft energy, softness, neutralize and follow it. While we're following in, we ingeniously cleverly change the incoming energy to a different direction. So guide it away from our danger. And then we create the opportunity, this gap, and to return, to help our opponent's energy return the favor. So we minimize, we don't ever waste our own energy. We're just using and go with, follow, neutralize the opponent's energy and return. So it creates this softness, overcome hardness. Another popular saying is Tai Chi is like a rotten steel or metal rod concealed in a cotton wool, or needle concealed in a cotton wool, precisely because this soft nature that we're moving in, within this softness, we're seeking that underlying energy, this expansion and resilient energy, strong. This strength is, however, presented not by brutal force, not by rigid force, is by natural shoulders down, elbows down, crown up, this three-dimensional expansion, forward, backwards, roundness, up and down. So all this round and outwardly soft and relaxation, that is sort of wrapped the internal strength. Okay, so here I will start to demonstrate, take you through these 4 techniques. 揽雀尾. I do it in the direction that we have set before. To behind me, the wall behind me will be my opening facing direction. I call it 12 o'clock. That's the curtain, the wall behind me. And towards the camera is 6 o'clock. Okay, so this is our throughout follow me position. After I demonstrate this first direction, then I will turn around to do the back view demonstration. Okay, I hope you have done some warm up by yourself. As I always said, Tai Chi is nice and soft, a very safe exercise. However, you still need to do warm up before you enter a Tai Chi training, to warm up the joints and muscle groups, to avoid possible strain on the muscles or the ligaments. Okay, please watch my demonstrations from the last of repulse monkey. We should have done 4 times of repulse monkey. The last time will be the left hand and left foot to the front. The next movement, we will turn to 12 o'clock. Here's the complete demonstration. single whip 单边 Let me demonstrate these 3 movements again. Now changing the direction. I move the 12 o'clock. This is the 12 o'clock. I move it to the camera. So here is the back view or the front view, depending how we define the front view. Okay, it's easier for most students to follow from the back view. Now, when we do the back view, we should finish repulse monkey 倒卷弓，揽雀尾 grasp the peacock's tail, turn. Hold the ball, step, ward off, 横，捋 pull back, neutralize, circle round, 急 press forward, softness again, and push. This is the left form. Now we proceed to the right form. Hold the ball. Ward off. I move forward a little. Pull back. Press forward. 急 roll back, and single whip 单边 make a hook, step, okay. So now we have demonstrated from both views, the front and the back view, in its entirety. Let's break these few movements down. 4 techniques. We can see a lot of them happening from the upper body, whether we do the ward off, pull back, our footwork doesn't move too much. Even though our footwork doesn't move, as in draw back or step, but the footwork is very important. It is the source of energy supplies. It feeds in, it connects, give our groundings for all of the waist movement, arms movement. So it's the base for all the energies. We need to regularly pay attention to our footwork. So even though our footwork doesn't move in like other movements by stepping up or stepping back, throughout the grasp peacock's tail, I would like to invite you to pay attention to how you feel your foot is connecting to the ground from the heel of your foot and to the ball of your foot to the toes grabbing the floor. So the more we pay attention to the feeling of our feet and keep the back foot staying, the front and back foot active, the better for the upper body movements. So first, on the appearance, that it's easy for the foot. It doesn't move much. However, quite often, the easiest part is the, and it provides the base for the high rise. Okay. Next, we're going to break down to the changes of the hands. However, whatever the changes of the hands happening, please remember the foot is connected. It's right throughout. Okay. Let's do this from the front view. The first side is to our left. If I do the mirrored image, this is the mirrored image from Repulse the Monkey. One. Continue with the circle. Hold the ball, draw the foot in. Stepping out, 2, step out. And this is to your left. And as soon as you step out, try to sit, connecting in the tailbone down, sit down. And cruising along forward onto the front, to the front foot. And at the same time, we perform the first technique, the first gait, called peng. The front hand is starting from the bottom of the ball, and feel that you are lifting. You're sliding and lifting, grasping the peacock's tail. The top hand of the ball will 踩下踩 means to sink and drop and guide your opponent's arm down. And this is to lift. Create as if you're holding a shield. As if you're holding a shield to get ready to protect yourself. And making sure the back foot stays active. The downward hand is on the side, coming down to the side of the hips. The next part, extend your lower hand up, as if you're holding, you're guiding the incoming arm down, as if you're pulling downwards, backwards, towards the side of your hips. Guide your opponents down. 捋 is guiding. Remember, we're not applying force to pull. It's guiding and following and inviting inwards. And then release slightly to the side, sort of guiding in and release, like building the guidance for the river, the stream, coming in and diverting away. And by now we have changed the direction of incoming force. And now we're ready to create this opportunity to return. So release, small circle, palm to palm. Your Left hand is outside, right hand is in. And press forward. Again, this energy comes from the back foot, stays active. And even though you feel you want to use your arms to press, the real energy comes from the back of your leg, through the waist, cross upwards through to the shoulder, elbow, and only extend, finish onto the hands. Separating your hands, roll back. Another neutralization, neutralize in, follow, neutralize, and create the opportunity to return. See, this is another softness. Transfer weight back, follow, 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 neutralize, and downward, slide downwards. And after you have guide and released, divert down, then we create the opportunity to return. Okay, so here is the 4th techniques of the grass peacock's tail. Ward off, pull back, small circle round, press forward, and separate, release, neutralize again, and extend, return, counter the techniques back. Every time before the energy becomes strong and counter-attack, there must be first a neutralization. In some ways, the skill level of Tai Chi is all about training the skill for neutralization. How we neutralize. This can be a lesson not only for martial arts, but also a lesson for life. Whatever the challenge, the circumstances, the situation occurs, like the pandemic or something unexpected happened, we human cannot change the nature. We should not work against the nature. We must learn to adapt, to neutralize, to how to respond in such a way that it kind of protect us as much as we can, and not to seek or hope the nature, the universe will change to suit us. It's all the living things on the planet is trying to adapt the nature to the changes of the universe, the nature. So here is what the Tai Chi lesson is here, how not to go force against the force. There is an incoming force. We must resist the temptation to go block, hit back, or hit faster, or hit stronger. Is to try to see it coming, sense it coming, feel it coming, and respond, neutralize, so it works less to our disadvantage, not harm ourselves, release and let go, divert, neutralize. While that neutralize happens, what will naturally happen with our opponents? If you can imagine this, if they push or punch, and they've been pulled gradually away from the original direction, the natural response would be pull back, right? As your opponents try to protect themselves back by pulling back, then it's the opportunity for us to return and help our opponents to retreat, to regain the balance. So you can see when they are coming towards us, when they are strong and advanced, we retreat, we follow, neutralize, we help them to advance. When they advance, not causing harm to us, they're naturally ready to retreat. And then it's our turn to advance and help our opponent to retreat, right? That's way we're borrowing, we're using their energy to our advantage. In Chinese, we call this 借力打力. We use or borrow their energy. We minimize the waste of our own energy. Similarly, we neutralize an incoming force. Say my opponent is pushing to my shoulder, and I can invite them to push more, push more, push more, push more, and gradually neutralize. And this energy, pushing energy, gradually will change as the extent of continuation of the exchange forward, and this will come down. So it no longer become my threat. And this, by natural response, they want to retreat. I will now able to help them to retreat. And quite often, the roots of our hands will become a curved retreat and neutralization, and slowly from push down and gradually a curved way, push forward and upwards, like a U, like a bended U shape, and then up, forward. The graph of the energy will be like this. Quite often, you will see opponents to a higher skilled Taiji practitioner. The opponents can be uprooted this way. It's because of this curved energy neutralization, and then plus the pushing at the end. Okay, we have spent a lot of time to actually talk about the changes of the energy. Now, let's try to talk about some of the positions, just to be clear about the techniques. The positions of the hands and your feet, the body weight, okay? I will still do the same side. You are welcome to change to the other side, okay? So once more, we start from, this is the mirrored image to the left form. Okay, 1, hold the ball. 2, as light as possible, step out and expand. This is the ward off. Hold a shield, ward off. It's about your chest height, shoulder and chest height. 捋, pull back. You want to first feel your hold of the opponent's arm. So therefore, your lower hand is kind of diagonally pointing towards your own elbow, and the higher hand is about your own shoulder high. So you're holding your opponent's guide from the elbow to the shoulder and pull down. Transfer weight back. So sit back, sit down. This is why we need the solid base. Sit down so you're free, you're soft enough to the upper body. Release. Circle. Palm to palm, right to your chest level. Circle round your hips, turn your hips around. Press forward. Again, when you press, make sure the power travels the correct route. And to the end, you must feel your chest slightly concurved. Chest slightly concurved. Okay? And not just the arms, not just the bending of the elbows. So you feel this power kind of expands from the front also to the back. And separate hands shoulder high, roll back. As you neutralize down more or less towards your lower abdomen level. And push forward. Now the push forward again from the abdomen level and in a curve, both downward and upwards curve, but also curve with a little bit side and then forward. Okay. Let's try the other side. When you're ready, sit back, body weight, sit back. Turn the toe in, the left toe in, keeping the shoulders down, elbows down, fingers at your shoulder level. 2. Shift your weight, hold the ball. Exactly the same movement, but done in the opposite direction. Step. 横. Ward off, hold as if you're holding your shield. Ready to protect yourself. 捋. Release, fingers soft, and sit back. Pull down, pull back. We use pull, but remember this is to follow. We're not applying rigid and brutal force. We're following. 捋. Following, neutralizing, releasing, and turn back. Now we're issuing. Transfer power from the back, issuing the energy forward. All around expansion. Press. Separate your hands. Soft release. Neutralize, neutralize, neutralize. Release. Slightly down. And softer. Return. And push. Push. The push is not a straight direction. It's the curved energy forward. Good. Well done. Okay. This left form and right form of grass peacock's tail can be practiced on its own as a small balance set continuously for great benefits. It helps to improve blood circulation because we're grabbing the floor with our toes, we constantly pay attention to the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, that transfer of the body weight. It greatly improves the energy circulation to the far end of our body. So not only good for martial purpose, to develop our roots, to develop our grounding, but it also greatly helps our blood circulation, qi circulation, and help to remove stagnations in the body. If you practice left and right on its own, by 6 times, you will feel your body becomes really warm, okay? And your quad muscles, perhaps these big strip muscles, will become hot as well. So all of these signs, and raise the temperature, slightly sweating, all of these signs are good signs for good exercise. So we're talking, I have spent a lot of time talking about neutralization for the underlying martial principles, is because it's helpful to remember how to do the movements. Don't forget, the health benefits is a direct result of doing the movement correctly. We have a principle, a long, very important principle we always quote, is to seek stillness in motion, which means don't rush movements, don't rush the hands or the foot. You must feel or to see every movement is a meditative type of movement. Is the qi, your energy, leading your hands. If you don't feel the qi is ready, then you would wait. And so the energy is ready, then it takes your body forward. Almost like if the engine of the car is switched on, then the car can move forward. If the engine is not on, doesn't matter how you turn the wheel, how you press the accelerator, there's no real power. So seek stillness in motion is to allow us to pay attention to our mind, to initiate the qi, and to power our movements. This is another internal principles called use mind, not brutal force. 用意不用力. These two should be practiced while you were working on the techniques, but all the time to remember those two important principles. Seek stillness in motion. Use mind, not brutal force. With those two principles, let's practice one more time on this grasped peacock's tail, left form, right form. Then we move on to single whip. Okay, adjusting the position. Up, ready. Grasp peacock's tail. 横 Lü, this is the follow me direction. You can follow. Let's do it together. Neutralize. Press. Separation. Roll back. Neutralize. And push. turn, sit back, toe in. Body weight, return to the left. Hold ball. Stepping out. Ward off. Pull back. Use mind, use chi to lead the body. Feel the energy travels in the body. Softness, neutralize, sink, and expand and push. Next, transfer weight back, turn, weight to your right. Collect your fingers to a hook. Draw the left foot in. 3, 4. 单边 single whip. Okay. Now let's talk about the single whip for one moment. Single whip is another representative movement of Yang style. We first have a new hand shape. From palm, we now need to gently release. Collect your 5 fingers to the thumb. So collect fingers to the thumb, making the hook. The other hands maintain as a palm. This palm, the shape of the forward pushing palm is not a rigid flat palm. It's a slight concurved in the center of the palm. Feel that center of the palm is on the surface of a ball. Can you imagine? In my UK studio, I regularly prepare basketball, so can show you. But if you can imagine, there's a ball right in front. So here, and the shape of the hands is almost resting your palm to the ball. So the surface of your palm is slightly curved, but it's not a rigid curve. It needs to feel your fingers open naturally. The web between the index finger and the thumb open naturally too. So here is the front hand, our pushing hands. Okay. The back hand is the hook. Is, as you can see, there's space between. Okay, the ring, there's a ring shape. So here is the hand shape. Hook in Mandarin is called Go palm, open palm. In Mandarin, it's called Zhang. Zhang is open palm. Go, making the hook. Okay, hook. Single whip is to, if you imagine what we are doing, is to neutralize again, follow. We said before, Tai Chi never initiates an attack, but we are very good at listening to an incoming force. So you follow this force and grab. This is like almost a grab the wrists. Okay, incoming push or incoming punch. So we gently guide it and neutralize it, neutralize and grab. This is almost like a grab, making the hook. And then the other hand to go counter strike. So we neutralize and then yield back forward. This is what we're doing. So give us a focus, an energy focus to the meaning of the movements. Now let's go through step by step on this move. If I do this movement, okay, by mirrored image again. So on the mirrored image, the left form of 彭吕几案, grass peacock's tail, is this way. And then we will do the opposite way, 彭吕几案. We will finish on the mirrored image. This is the, you can follow me. I'm now your mirror. Next, single whip. 1, shift your weight. Arms open, spread. As if you're sliding, okay, sliding over. So do it once more. 1, shift your weight, taking the toe in and open palm, spreading out. 2. Okay, once more. We will try to do it like ready? 1, follow through, this other hand follow through. 2, shift your weight over and collect your 5 fingers, making the hook. Draw the left foot in. 3, step. 4, transfer weight. Push. Okay. Once more, pay attention to the transitions, to the mirrored image, okay? From the grass peacock's tail, the push. 1, sit back and turn to the left, taking the toe in. 2, turn to your right, transfer weight. 3, making your hook, draw the left foot in. The palm will close to the elbow. Step out. 4, single whip. Now the angle between the palm and the hook is over 90 degrees, okay? So this 2 arm needs to spread wider than 90 degrees, however, not over too much. The maximum is about 90 plus 45 to the corner behind. Okay. Good. So single whip to this movement involves 2 directions. Your eyes will look the front hand, the forward hand pushing. When we say push in this single whip, the pushing hand is not a straight angle push, or it's not a circle down and flick. It's rather like a curve upwards, slight upwards, like a bridge, a shape of a curved bridge. So from here, we slowly rise to the eye level. As you continue to go forward, rotate palm, and then go forward and downwards. A little bit dive down, okay? A little bit take off, and a little bit landing or a dive down. This is when we say the single whip push. Why it's called single whip? When we use the whip, okay, if you have ever had the honor to watch or even try to whip using a long whip, then you will find when you throw this whip, the root of the long whip, it actually goes, you circle first. I've learned this in the when I visit the down under Australia. We were in that farm, so we were shown and to get to practice. So you circle, 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 and then you go forward, or almost like a throwing a little bit. But so the whip, it travels a little bit curved over and then reach out and crack, make a very loud sound. Okay, so here is the energy that we borrowed, vividly borrowed that energy of that whip. And feel that energy travels like the root of a whip. And that's why it's called single whip. 单边 to the left, turn. To the right, shift your weight. Make the hook. Draw the left foot in. Step out. Transfer weight and push. Okay. Okay. The transformation of the energy is the driving force for the health benefits too. When we practice Tai Chi, you want to feel regularly, or you will have a intention or pay attention. Try to imagine what you are doing, your energy is leading you. So for example, we have talked about the transformation of the 4 techniques. Now in single whip, there's a rising feel, for example. Rising, when we describe this curve, the energy starts rise and then to its peak, and then it rotates, rotates, stimulating the meridians. And then it kind of sinks, so it comes down, drops down, forward. Reaching to the end, there should be an expansion, a feeling of expansion and resilience, energy from the palms to the heels, heel of the palms, finger of the palms, and to the wrists, elbows to the shoulders, inner corner of shoulders, elbows down, shoulders open, dropped, crown is lifting up, and the backhand also equally expanding and stretching out internally without locking any joints. No locking, so it's almost straight, naturally straight. So the changes of the energy, it's difficult at first to see. However, it's essential of our aim to practice Tai Chi. and also it will be the reason for helping to improve the circulation, to remove stagnation of the energy, to clear of blockages in our body, and help to maintain our health and well-being. Okay, that's all for our lesson today. If you have any questions, I'm happy to leave the last 5 minutes to answer your questions live. Okay, thank you everyone to participate.
Hey, thank you very much, Master Fei. A brilliant, detailed session. I'm sure everybody would agree. And thank you, Ms. Tong, as well, for hosting and doing the recording for us, all the technical bits. Unfortunately, there isn't time to answer questions live because there is another lecture coming up after this one. But messages can be sent to the email address of the European Tai Chi Culture Centre, which is info@europeantaichi.com. I don't know if you want to say one last word, Fei, before we close the session off.
Hi, Angela. Yeah, thank you everyone for turning up and showing up. Many familiar faces that I can see. I will be back to the UK very soon and hopefully see you either in person or online at the next session. Okay, if not in my weekly classes already.